Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. We're pleased to be joined by CJ McLaughlin from RSS Racing. Of course, that's Ryan Sieg's family team. How's it going, man?
What's going on, Casey? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, no problem. So let's talk about the opportunity that was announced earlier this week. You're going to be going to RSS Racing. Going to run about 14 races in that car. Talk about that deal and where you're going to be running.
Yeah, so I made my Xfinity Series debut with them, so I'm really excited to go back with them. We always felt like a family, and 2020 happened. We were supposed to do a bunch of races then, and my sponsors had to kind of pull back their marketing spend because they didn't know the economic landscape of the world at that time. So now getting back with them in 2022, we should be, hitting our stride again. It's me having a lot more experience too. Now I know what I'm looking for in a car, so I think going back with them is going to be a good. They've always had a good equipment, and I'm really excited to get back with them again.
Right. So let's talk about where we're at right now and how many races that you're running, and talk about some of the partners that you're bringing on with you.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing the 4 speedway races along with most of the mile and halves. So Daytona, Talladega's, and then Las Vegas, Charlotte, and most of the mile and halves. And then the sponsor I have is my first sponsor, like my first premier sponsor, which is Syapps, which is based out of Woburn, Mass, who I work for full time. So I'm really excited to be partnered up with them again too, that they're continuing to support me because I don't have family money behind me. I have a full-time sponsor that I'm working for 40 hours a week, and I'm working for at the racetrack on the weekends. So
yeah, sounds good on that one. So. Of course, with the 14 races with the RSS team, and that team has really made some news in the past few weeks. In this offseason, of course, they're partnering with they signed a technical alliance with Stewart-Haas Racing. The program is back to 2 cars, and really, it's kind of really jumping up forward with Ford Performance behind the wheel.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to be a Ford driver now. I think we have a lot of engineering help behind the team, so I hope some will translate over to the 38 car, hopefully. And but I think we're going to be announcing a crew chief soon here in the next couple of weeks, and it's going to be a good. I think it's going to be. I'm really excited for this year. I think we're going to have a lot of good runs, and that's what we can hope for.
Okay, sounds good on that. Sounds good on that one. So I know the tough thing is about the Xfinity Series. I'm sure you've heard about all the tweets that I and a lot of my colleagues are sending about possibly 50 cars at Daytona for the upcoming race. Are you worried about getting in the field? Are you guaranteed in with that, or do you have to make?
I'm just worried about rain. That's all I'm worried about. I think we have the speed to race our way in, but rain's just the uncontrollable factor in everybody's, foresight into qualifying for Daytona.
So, do you have to qualify in?
Oh yes. Yep.
Okay. So let's talk about some of the races that you're going to be doing. I know you said the 4 plate races. Well, they don't use plates anymore, but whatever. And then they have all the mile and a half races as well. Talk about some of them and what your schedule is going to be like with that. Are you going to do maybe some short tracks, some road courses? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, Bristol is one we have marked on the calendar. I love going to Bristol. I think that's one of my favorite tracks on the circuit. Texas is a big one for us. We have a lot of customers in the Houston area, so to get them up to Dallas is a fun event for us. And then I've raced a lot of the mile and halves, like Las Vegas. I've turned a lot of laps, and that's what I've been really lacking in the past is just the track time. So getting back to those tracks that I previously raced at is really exciting. As far as road courses, right now we don't have a plan, but if other sponsors or if my current sponsor wants to invest more, we can probably do that, but right now we don't have any plans to.
What was it like getting back with Ryan Sieg and being partnered with this team?
I mean, we had a meeting with them, like I think right before Thanksgiving or right afterwards, and it just they're just really easy to work with, and it's really exciting what they have going on in the shop.
Yeah, of course, it's a lot of stuff in there. But what are we going to expect out of the Xfinity Series this year?
I think it's going to be a really stiff competition. I think a lot of people, like of those 50 cars you mentioned, a lot of people have leased motors for the speedways, and I don't think that was like that in the past. It's like if you're going to race, you have that.
And it looks like there's going to be a lot more Fords out there in the field because The BJ team is also, partnered with Ford and also has a technical alliance with Haas. Of course, the Seat team and of course SS Greenlight, and along with the main Stewart Haas car. That's going to be a lot. That's going to be a lot more Fords out there, a lot more friends to help you out in case if something happens out there, especially on the super speedways.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was looking at the qualifying rounds from 2020, and there was only like 3 Fords in the field, so they're really up the ante there.
Yeah. All right. So, and then one last thing, what track out of the 14 races are you most looking forward to go to?
I mean, Daytona is like really special to me. Like that was the one vacation me and my dad would take once a year. So Daytona's a big one, and then New Hampshire being my home track is a big one, and then Bristol too.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
So Daytona, New Hampshire, and Bristol, top 3.
All right. All right. CJ McLaughlin, thank you so much for coming on. We'll have you on again sometime later this year. Maybe we'll have you on before Daytona to talk about it and maybe we'll talk about it more.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for having me on.